Hi, I'm Helen Divyak.
And I'm Peder Nelson.
And we both work with the Museum of History and Industry, which creates a series of mini documentaries about Seattle history called MOHAI Minutes.
But today we're teaming up with KCTS 9 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Seattle's 1962 World's Fair and do a quick history about a Seattle icon, the Bubbleator.
The bubble what?
The Bubbleator.
The Bubbleator.
No, it's like a bubble in an elevator.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I guess we got some research to do.
Guess so.
During its 6-month run, Seattle's 1962 World's Fair awed and entertained about 10 million visitors. No visitor's trip was complete without a ride on the Bubbleator, a space-age glass elevator that moved 100 passengers at a time through an exhibit called The Threat and the Threshold.
Please step to the rear of the sphere. We can only accommodate 100 of you, a century at a time.
The Threat and the Threshold was located in this building, Key Arena, or it was then called the Washington State Coliseum. Now, this was a groundbreaking exhibit for the time, using the latest technologies to take visitors on a trip to the 21st century. The exhibit predicted both a futuristic utopia and nuclear apocalypse, competing notions that were at the forefront of Americans' minds at a time when we were exploring space, but also dealing with the frightening realities of a Cold War.
So Helen and I have come down to MOHAI's collection storage to see if we can find out more about the Bubbleator. And we found this, the Bubbleator Operator Chair. MOHAI purchased this item in 2005, and while its previous owners made a few changes, it's pretty much the same as it would have appeared in 1962 when it operated inside the Bubbleator.
We also found this silver lame uniform that was worn by an actual Bubbleator operator. And it's certainly an interesting prediction of the kind of fashion choices we'd be making in the 21st century.
Frustrations and fulfillments, challenges and opportunities.
So one of my favorite Bubbleator discoveries is not from MOHAI's collection, but it's actually a real-life person, John Gesner, who's come down to meet me today. At age 21, he was the youngest Bubbleator operator. After 1 week as a guide, John was promoted.
I met tons of young people that worked in our exhibit, and we partied every night. It was a wonderful 6 months.
It was his first chance to meet politicians and celebrities, but his Hollywood-designed costume was also a first.
This was the first use of Velcro in clothing.
And John, do you remember what you used to say on the Bubbleator?
Step off into the future. We all have to do that sometime.
For years, the Bubbleator was kept at the Center House. In the mid-'80s, it was disassembled and sent to a warehouse on Lake Union. Seattle PI reporter Gene Oxiger visited the warehouse, where the manager was eager to get rid of it. After some haggling,
he called me and he said, double your offer and then get it out of here. So I got it for $1,000.
And here it sits in peaceful retirement. What once warned us about threats and thresholds now offers us orchids.
You know, Helen, the fact that pieces of the Bubbleator are scattered all over the city just goes to show the impact that the historic icon has had.
Totally, I think you're right. And you know, the Bubbleator is just one remnant from the Century 21 exposition. There's thousands of souvenirs and memories, not to mention huge icons like the Space Needle or the monorail that were created for the fair. Hey, you want to hear a joke from 1962?
Yeah, sure.
Did you hear what happened to the lady who went to Seattle's World's Fair?
No.
The bubble ate her.
That's terrible.
Meet me in Seattle at the fair.
Major funding for World's Fair Minutes is provided by Bartell Drugs.
I will be your guide. You will be my guide.